Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be here. I'm Tiffany Smith.
I'm Terry Schwartz.
And we are here at the Fate of the Furious premiere in New York City. We are going to have the cast coming up here on the stage for interviews. Everybody watching, we know everybody can't be here with us in New York, so we want you to feel like you are right here on the live stream.
And to be keeping up with the show, in addition to us right here, we are going to be live on all your favorite social media platforms, so you can follow along with the hashtag F8 premiere. I'm really excited about this. We have some exciting stars of the movie we can see down the carpet. It will coming to us soon.
And you guys, there's so much stuff going on the carpet. We've got cameras covering the whole entire thing, so you won't miss a moment of it. Fans have been lining up. We've got them all along the carpet as well. So
can we hear you
as the stars walk down,
can we hear you guys? Let's hear those fans.
This is such an energetic carpet, you guys. I've loved the films from day one, so getting to be here for the 8th installment makes me really excited. I know that as soon as we start getting some of the actors up here, I'm gonna gush all over them. It's fine.
2 decades, 8 movies. This cast is incredible. We have Charlize Theron, we have Kurt Russell, we have Dwayne Johnson, we have Vin Diesel, of course.
Yep.
Very exciting stuff.
There are, like she says, all of the stars of the film are going to be here. If you guys are following along and you want to be part of the conversation, make sure you use the hashtag F8 premiere.
We're going to be saying it all night.
Yeah, we want to hear what you guys have to say. Talk to us about the interviews, because we are fans just like you guys, so every time we talk to one of them, I'm sure we're thinking all of the exact same things that you guys are.
It's insane. We've actually had a chance to see the movie already, and that trailer is insane. I was watching some of these scenes, I was watching the sub, and I was like, how can they top this? And they really do.
Yeah.
The movie, there's just so much cool action. They really do take such great advantage of all these characters. So I'm really excited. We can see Dwayne Johnson right now. He's greeting the fans, and we're waiting for him, and everyone is freaking out.
As you can kind of hear, as the celebrities start making their way down the carpet, the fans start clamoring for them, and then further down the carpet, you'll hear the photographers clamoring for them. So right over there, we of course have got Dwayne Johnson making his way down. F. Gary Gray is here, the director of this installment of the franchise. I am so pumped to be here.
Now, obviously, we know the premise of Fate of the Furious is that Dom, for some reason, turns on family, and so the fun of that is that we get Dwayne's Hobbs and then Jason Statham's Decker teaming up to try and figure out what is going on with Dom, and then also try and take down Charlize Theron's Cypher. So without further ado,
I think right now we are being joined by one of us.
Good
to see you.
Hey,
Hi.
how you doing?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
You guys, I would say please give a warm welcome to Dwayne Johnson, but you guys are already doing it.
All right, what's up, everybody?
How does it feel to be here for the installment?
Sorry, what?
The fans. Let's just get right into it, because they're all here.
Yeah,
what is so different about the Fast and Furious fans?
Well, they're extremely passionate. They're very loyal, and you know, they hold the franchise to a very high bar, by the way, and which is big excitement, big action, great story. But in my opinion, the most important thing about the movies that we make, especially with the Fast and Furious franchise, is that the movie's fun. It's got to be fun. So as long as it's fun, then we deliver, and everybody has a good time, everybody's smiling like you, that's all that matters.
Now, ever since you joined the franchise in Fast 5, you've become so integral to it. What is it about the Fast and Furious movies that keep you coming back, for that fun and that action?
Well, it's just that. It's the fun of it. It's also the opportunity to continue to create a character like Luke Hobbs that's exciting, that fans love, that can grow and evolve, right? And then also, here's the greatest thing, and we're live, right?
Yes.
We are live.
Good. I love being live. That's the thing.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing. No, the thing about it is the best. Take my jacket off. Okay, yeah. It's a different kind of movie now.
I tried.
The best thing about the character is that we've gotten to a place where he could talk so much, excuse my language, shit, and it's so fun, and it's done with a wink, and I love that. You know, Daddy's got to go to work, and like I tell Jason Statham in the movie, I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat, you're gonna stick a toothbrush up your ass to brush them. Now, when you say something like that with a little bit of wink and a smile, and you make Jason Statham laugh, he laughed. We thought we were gonna cut, but it actually wound up in the movie because it's so cool. So anyway, I love the character, and I love making the movie for the fans.
Well, and talking about working with Jason, you guys obviously had a pretty epic fight scene in the last film.
Yeah.
Do you feel like because you guys have worked together now that you can push it even further in this one?
I think so, because with Jason we have a great shorthand. I love the guy, and also there's a lot of trust between Jason and I. So, when we're in a scene, he trusts me and where I'm going to go. I trust him too as well. And then not only that, but the physicality part of it. He's really one of the only guys in Hollywood, certainly in the franchise, who has a legitimate background in fighting and martial arts. So it makes the physicality part of it easier and a lot more fun.
Now, you guys are a part of one of my favorite scenes in this movie. All I'm going to say is that it involves a prison. When I see that, I wonder how much goes into learning the choreography of a fight like that. It seems like it's a really, really intense process.
It was a long process, and the goal was to try and create a prison breakout scene that was one of the best, if not the best, right? Which says a lot, because there's...
Just say it, it's Fast and Furious. It's going to be the best.
You want to make it the best. That's the goal, that's the intention. And it all comes down to the crew you have and the people you have around you. You had amazing stunt guys who did a lot of the work, almost most of the work, and then we had stunt coordinators, and we had great shooter and Jason. So there's a lot of things that go into that. I love the final product of it, and fans of it too.
No, it's you sort of hinted at it when you were talking about some of the insults that you say to Decker in this movie. I'm so curious, are those improv? Are those scripted? Who breaks the most in those scenes?
Yeah, so what's really funny and fun about the character of Hobbs is all the shit talking that I do.
I am the cavalry.
And it's all improv. It's completely improv. And the cool thing about that is there's a lot of trust, again, and a lot of time. And again, we've gotten to a good place with Hobbs where he could say anything, the most absurd thing. This is a guy who redirected a torpedo on ice. It's so absurd. It's completely absurd, completely unrealistic, but it's Hobbs. And when Hobbs does it, he could possibly do that.
Okay, so we are obviously here at the premiere. We don't want to take up all of your time, but we're going to send you off.
Are. This is ridiculous.
You're here for
you know what?
I got food to go eat. No, I'm only kidding. Go ahead.
I was going to try and come up with an insult for you to send you off, but I can't do it. So
you can't come up with one?
We're here at the Fast and Furious premiere, The Fate of the Furious, with Dwayne Johnson. I think it's time for you to get your ass off this carpet and go say hi to some fans.
Oh, that was pretty good.
How did I do?
That was good. That was good.
How did she do, everyone?
Did good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Very good. Very impressed. Very impressed.
I was going to say, do you want to send me off with a better one?
I'll send you off with one.
Okay.
Okay, so when you see Jason Statham, and is Jason coming today? Does anybody know if Jason?
Jason is
Oh,
coming.
good. So when you see Jason, you can tell Jason that The Rock said he's going to kick your ass into next week and then kick your ass again for leaving. Think about it.
Okay, I will do my best to say that to
Tiffany is
Jason
going to
Statham.
say that
And then you
to
got to
Jason
smile,
Statham.
because he might think you're serious. Yeah, and then give
I
him a
don't know
hug.
that he'll believe it coming from me, but we'll try. Thank you so much,
Good to see
Dwayne,
you.
for saying hello.
Thank you,
Enjoy
guys.
your evening.
Absolutely. You too. Enjoy the
Thank
movie.
you.
Thank you.
Now, up next, we have director F. Gary Gray.
Coming up here. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, so nice to meet you tonight.
Good to meet you as well.
I've got to say, the Fast and Furious fans are some of the greatest fans around, some of the most vocal fans as well. And for you, coming off of such a successful film with Straight Outta Compton last year, what was it about Fast and Furious that made you say, yes, this is the next film that I want to do?
Well, first of all, did you just tell Dwayne Johnson to get his ass onto the red carpet?
And he smiled
I did. How's that?
What a little attitude.
I have way more attitude now that he's gone than when he was here.
I see that. I understand that. Yeah, they have an amazing, I say we now, the collective, we have an amazing fan base. And when I got the call, I was really, really excited, but then I was really pressured to take it to the next level.
Well, it's interesting, you did give a quote along those lines that you said you wanted to give the fans something that they'd never seen before.
That's right.
How did you go about doing that in this movie?
Well, first is the story. You have never seen Dom Toretto go against the family, so it's story first. Then I wanted to elevate the performances because of the storyline. Then the action. I mean, when have you ever seen a submarine chase a Lamborghini?
When this movie opens on April 14th.
In Iceland.
In Iceland, let alone a man grab a torpedo and chuck it at a Hummer. I mean, come on. You've never seen that before, right?
Never, ever seen that. And you kind of mentioned it, but obviously the locations. You guys shot in Iceland, you shot in New York City, and you shot in Cuba. So what was so important for you about shooting there, number one? And taking it back old school with the street racing.
Well, you know what? Cuba, Havana, the car culture is really the essence of Fast and Furious. It's such an amazing American car culture there. Vintage cars, all muscle, all engine, all motors. It's not about technology, it's just about pink slips and speed. And that's why we went to Cuba as a nod to the earlier Fast and Furious movies. And then later on, we get into the billion-dollar jets and the Lamborghinis and all the rest of that stuff.
But let's not forget that all of those things, as you're talking about them, I'm like, everything is so sexy that you just mentioned. All of those cars, whether they're super high tech or not, you see them on the screen and it's like, yep, I want to be there.
And we destroy a lot of them. That's the other part of it. It's like, if you see a Lamborghini, I'm gonna drown it. If you see a Mercedes-Benz or a Bentley, I'm flipping it, I'm destroying it, just for your entertainment. But we do a lot of damage. There's a lot of car carnage.
I also heard that the stunt sequence that you did in Iceland featured the biggest explosion ever in that country, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts. There's I
can't believe that was like a very humble, that's huge.
Yeah, you know, it's Fast 8. I mean, you know, we have a submarine. So yeah, of course we're gonna have the biggest explosion and the most cars damaged and the biggest stars, Oscars, action, everything you can imagine, we went to top it.
Now, family is such an important part of the Fast and Furious franchise, and you already talked about, you turned Dom against his family. That's one big change.
That's right.
But how do you sort of reinvent the idea of family and play with that concept in this movie?
Well, you challenge it. The best storytelling is about conflict and how you resolve the conflict. There's no bigger conflict in the franchise than the family falling apart. No one ever expected it. No one's ever seen it. Now it's up to you to figure out how it happened, why it happened, and if they ever will come back together.
We'll have to wait and see. Now, I have to ask you, you talked about destroying the cars. How many cars gave their lives for this movie?
Hundreds of cars sacrificed their vehicular souls for your entertainment, so you better go check it out April 14th, because my producers are still in a fetal position for the amount of resources it took to shoot this movie.
Well, I do want to talk to you a little bit about the Charlize of it all.
Okay.
She is a terrifying villain in this movie.
Yes, she is.
Also still really sexy.
Is super sexy. But I mean, we've never seen the team go up against someone like her before. What made Charlize Theron the right actress to take on that role?
Just depth. You know, she brings a certain depth, a certain dimension to every character that she plays. So you have a villain, an Oscar-winning villain who is not just a bad guy. She's not wielding a whole bunch of machine guns. She's not shooting up a whole bunch of people, but she's hands down the best, most crazy bad guy in all of the Fast franchise. So she was my first choice. In Hollywood, that doesn't happen often where you get your first choice, but I'm glad I got her, and I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy what she's doing.
Well, and I gotta say, I think that the Fast and Furious franchise is so glad that they had you on board for the Fate of the Furious. Everyone's so excited. They're all gonna see it on April 14th. I know that.
You better.
Well, enjoy your night. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you very
Good to
much.
see you
Have a
too.
wonderful evening.
All right, you guys, this is just the beginning of the Fate of the Furious premiere in New York City. We've already talked with Dwayne Johnson, and yes, I did tell him to get off the stage.
I think
he told me to.
He told me to. Do you remember what he told you to tell Jason Statham?
He told me that it was supposed to be what? He's going to kick his ass into next week and then come back and kick it. Yes.
Yes.
And kick it again for leaving.
We're going to
I don't know if I'm going to be able to say that to Statham, but we'll see.
I look forward to seeing that happen. Now, Tiffany, you guys can't tell right now from this stage that we're on, but this carpet is freaking huge.
It is.
So I'm going to give you guys a little tour. It's going to take me a minute because I got to hustle all the way to the top. So, Tiffany, you're going to hold the fort,
Yes.
and then I'm going to give you guys a tour in just a second.
All right, you guys,
see
we'll
ya.
see you in a little bit, Terry. So we are here in New York City for the premiere of The Fate of the Furious. It is going to be an epic, awesome Fast and Furious carpet. We've already started the evening with Dwayne Johnson, who plays Hobbs. It was such a fun interview. He told me an insult to tell to Jason Statham, which you guys will have to wait and see that interview if I can actually pull it off and say it as demanding and awesome as Dwayne did. I don't know if I can. We also chatted with F. Gary Gray, the director of this film, and it was so interesting because talking with him, obviously, he discussed all of the actors and that there's such incredible actors in this movie, Oscar award-winning actors, and then upping the action as well, and still taking it back to the original with some street races. So there's so much in this film. The team that's working on it is so incredible, and you guys, we don't want you to feel left out, so we have got the entire carpet covered for you. There are fans who have been waiting to see their stars of this film, fans who are waiting to see the movie, and of course there's Snapchat going on. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter 360, so make sure you're following the hashtag F8Premiere so you don't miss a single moment of it. We're gonna have some great packages as well for you guys so you can get an even closer look within Fate of the Furious. Like I said, we've got tons of fans here. How are all the fans feeling? Fans, how you doing? Woo! They are so much fun. They've been waiting here for hours, like I said, just to see their favorite stars of the Fast and the Furious. We already talked with Dwayne Johnson. We are going to have the rest of the cast as well. Vin Diesel, of course, is on his way. Charlize Theron, who plays the villain in this one, which I cannot wait for everyone to see her in this role because it is so much fun. And you guys, this film, every time the Fast and Furious do a new film, it gets even bigger. They filmed all over the world, from New York City to Iceland, and they of course filmed in Cuba as well, which this is the first major theatrical release to film in Cuba. And it was really cool hearing F. Gary Gray talk about it because he was just saying the energy, the cars, how exciting everybody was down there to have the cast there, to really have that street race and have that old school Fast and Furious feel. So we are going to be back here on the stage interviewing more of the stars of the film, but right now I'm going to toss it over to Terry so she can give you guys a tour of what it's like walking the carpet as a star of Fast and the Furious here in New York City. Take it away, Terry.
Now, thank you, Tiffany. It's funny that you talk about walking the carpet as a star because
Hey,
Mr.
how
Scott
you
Eastwood,
doing?
what's up?
Oh man,
So-
look at this mic. This
I
thing
know,
is huge.
right? It's
We got all
huge.
kinds of stuff going on.
Oh my
here.
goodness,
boom,
no,
let's
I would love to keep that on because we are actually live right now
Oh,
on Facebook.
nice.
Actually, across pretty much all
Nice.
social media
Well, that's
platforms.
good.
Now, we're giving everyone a brief tour. We're at the top of the carpet right now, right? You guys walk
Sure,
in,
yeah.
you just took some photos,
Yeah, we're
and you're
here.
about to do a bunch of interviews with some of our favorites at ET and Access Hollywood. What's fun for you about attending a massive premiere like this?
Well, this movie's just so fun. Everything about it is fun. The action, the comedy. So it's just a great movie, you know. It's where people can just go and have a good time for
Now,
a couple
awesome.
hours.
We're going to talk to you up on the live stage in just a little bit. We're going to leave you here, but thank you so much for
Okay.
kicking off our carpet
All
tour in
right.
style.
All right.
All right, now from here, Scott will go on and he will interview with all of these wonderful outlets. You can see they have these beautiful stations. Miss Michelle Rodriguez is right here right now. And then from this point, after they get up there, we're getting closer to where our live stage is. But first, this wonderful camera that shows us a look at the carpet as all the talent walks along this beautiful carpet. But more importantly, right here are where the fans are. What is the Fast franchise without the fans? That is one of the biggest reasons that has become one of the biggest blockbusters in all of Hollywood. Now, also, social media, a very important part of this series. And this station right here is where all the cast is going to stop and do a fun little boomerang. And then you can watch that on Fast and the Furious Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram account. So you'll be able to see that there right now. And don't forget, you're going to be following along with hashtag F8Premiere. At this point, all the beautiful cast in the Fast and Furious franchise will stop by and talk to Tiffany and I.
hello.
Oh, hello again. And Tiffany, why don't you tell everyone what's going to happen after they hit this
All right,
point?
so of course Terry just showed you guys the very beginning of the carpet. Stars will come up here and chat, and then they will make their way to the other end of the carpet.
Bye,
I'll see you in a little
Tiffany.
bit. All right, so they make their way off the stage. We have got our eye in the sky camera following them, so you guys don't miss a single thing. I'm gonna slowly walk down the stairs so you guys don't see me fall down the stairs, because you won't miss it with this camera up here. We've got our fans hanging out over here. How are you guys doing? Yeah, you guys excited? Are you excited to be here? Oh, come on, give me a little excitement. Can I have a little cheer? We got a smile. I'll take that. Do you want to show them how it's done? Are you excited to be here? Yes. Yes. All right, you guys. So we've got fans who are all hanging out waiting to see the stars of the movie. Of course, they're going to be interviewed along the way as well. And we have got the Twitter 360 camera right here. I'm going to try and grab this. Oh, this is live, guys. So let's check it out. You can see everything that's going on the carpet. I'm going to make you get a little lost with me on this one. But you've got the fans over here, and you've got me, Tiffany Smith, walking you guys down the carpet. And then, of course, they are going to be making their way down, I just like to call it Photo Alley. You know when the stars are hearing their names yelled out, not by just the fans who are yelling, Vin, Dwayne, whoever it is. The cameras are going to be snapping right here. And you guys, as we're making our way down, of course, just passing Dwayne Johnson, saying hello to the fans. It's one of the greatest things about this franchise is that Every one of the actors loves their fans so much, they make sure to spend time with them. Right now, you guys can see there are even more interviews that they'll be doing right over there. Fans over here with their posters and photos to get signed. More photos over here. It's crazy. There is so much stuff going on this carpet, and it takes some time to get down here. But again, we've got another camera over here, you guys, so you won't miss anything that happens over here. Usually when you get to this part of the carpet, all of the photogs are lined up, and a lot of times the entire cast will make their way onto this stage, so all of these lovely photographers can get a photo of the entire cast of The Fate of the Furious. How are you guys doing? Good? All right, you guys. So, that was a little bit of a long walk, and I'm not gonna lie, it's even a little bit further in stilettos. But we've made it to the end of The Fate of the Furious carpet. Yeah, I'm a little tired. It's fine. It's okay. I don't have a car to drive me down the carpet like the Fast and the Furious do. So this is just a little tour of all of the things that you will see on this carpet. We covered every single inch of it, and right now you can hear them yelling because Dwayne is making his way down for Photo Alley. And while that is happening, I'm going to toss it right back over to Terry, who's got some more info on The Fate of the Furious for you guys. See you on the stage.
I do indeed, Tiffany. That was an amazing tour. Excellent work. Now, we have even more talent from this movie coming this way. In fact, I can see Mr. Jason Statham is coming very soon. He's in a couple of my favorite fight scenes in this movie. Obviously, we know he is an incredible action hero, and that translates to the Fast and the Furious franchise impeccably well. I can't wait to ask him about it. Right now, he's signing some photos with some fans, but like we were talking about with Dwayne Johnson, you know, he just had the two of them having incredible chemistry, and we saw them fighting against each other a little bit in the last movie, but we're going to see them a lot more working together in this one. So he is walking up right now. He's on his way onto the stage. But before we talk to him, you know, we all appreciate him as an action star, but we also, I think, he's a little underappreciated as a comedian. He's so funny in this movie, and I really can't wait for everyone to get a chance to see it. Now, as you know, we've been talking about it all night. Fast and the Fate of the Furious comes out on April 14th, and you can follow along with this carpet at #F8 Premiere. Now, hi, Jason Statham. So nice to meet you.
How are you, darling?
How are you
okay?
enjoying this carpet? They're enjoying it. They're so happy you're here.
They haven't even seen the film and they're enjoying it.
Now, we were talking a little bit earlier with Dwayne Johnson, and also just Tiffany, my co-host, with us about how you're in some of just the most amazing action scenes in this movie.
We got a couple of good ones, yeah.
You know, I'm just going to say it. One involves a prison, another involves a plane. They're freaking awesome. How intense is it to learn the choreography of scenes like that? And is that something that you relish in all the film roles you take now?
Yeah, you know, we work with a really close bunch of friends that we've known for a few years. JJ Perry, he brings in all of his old cronies, and they're really talented people, so we can design stuff in a very short space of time, and you know, it's just experience that they've got, and you know, the shorthand we've got, and we have a laugh when we're doing it. So I think all that kind of thing sort of comes together. It's old friends doing the same tricks.
Now, obviously, you were a relentless villain in the last Fast and the Furious movie. This time, you end up being a bit of an ally. Is it an interesting challenge for you to sort of make Decker a bit more of an empathetic character and show the other side of that person?
Well, I don't think he was ever a bad person. You know, he's.
What's your argument for that? He killed Han.
Hey, look, he was doing things for the sake of his own family. You know, a man on a mission is not necessarily a bad person if he's out to protect his brother and look after what his mum wants. You know, so you know, this time around he's got a bit of a different sort of transition into working alongside people he doesn't necessarily want to work alongside. So he's still got his own thing that he's focused on. But, you know, he ends up with a lot of people he doesn't want to be working with.
I absolutely had to make my way onto the stage because someone gave me a message to give to you.
Who's that? Dwayne Johnson? Where is he?
So, here we go, you guys. Here we go. We were talking about the insults, and he said I'm supposed to tell you he's going to kick your ass out of this week, and then he'll meet you there and kick your ass back for leaving.
How many friends has he got?
I don't know.
Yeah, he won't be coming too quickly. I can't see him. He's got a big mouth on a small head.
I will say he sent me to do his dirty work. He didn't come back to do it himself.
And what Tiffany didn't say is that she actually told him to get his ass off this stage, and that's what kicked this whole thing off.
Yeah,
so I think
we'll see where he sits, and hopefully it'll be in front of me, and I'll be able to kick him right in the back of the head.
How much fun is it for you guys, though? Because obviously the first scenes that you guys had in the last film was such an epic fight sequence. And then now coming into this one, because you guys know each other so well and there is that chemistry, can you push it even further?
You know what? He's the best person in the world to do these kind of things with, because he's the ultimate athlete. He's so scary and he's so lovable at the same time. Just to work with someone like that, that's, you know, he's a stand-up comedian in his spare time. So to be able to do these scenes with him is just, it's the perfect sort of chemistry.
Well, Tiffany, you were an amazing surrogate for that insult right there. But I will say, like, some of the insults you guys level at yourselves, at each other in this movie are so funny. Do you improv those scenes? Like, who breaks first in those takes?
Well, the ones that we end up liking the most never make the movie because they're far too rude. Well, they're a little bit, you know, a little bit X'd out. So it's outtakes only for those, yeah.
I love it so much. It's so interesting, too, because I think there's something where it's, you want to see the action, but also you expect the humor in these ones. So how much fun is it for you really playing that badass and then being able to layer it even more?
You know, the best fun is, you know, ripping each other to pieces. I mean, the action is something that I've done for many years. So to have a bit of comedy sort of at the forefront of doing a lot of this physical stuff is, for me, it's the best part. Yeah.
And I've got to ask, because we talk about this movie being so much about family, and there's so many characters that come in and they're the villains or they're against Dom and the crew, and somehow that whole crew turns them around. What is it about Dom and the crew that makes you feel like, okay, yeah, I want to work with them?
Well, I actually don't want to work with them. No, it's you know, it's part of the sort of transition of Deckard Shaw is how he gets to work alongside people he doesn't necessarily fit into. And I think that's, you know, to the benefit of the writers and how they sort of brought this guy that wouldn't really have any part of their team in alongside them. And eventually, you know, you get to find a bit more out about Deckard Shaw, that he's not necessarily who they thought. They kind of painted a bad picture of him initially. And in the end, we find out he's not such a bad dude.
Well, awesome. We can't wait for fans to see it this coming weekend, April 14th. Jason, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much. And
thank you.
for
Enjoy
letting
your
me
night.
Pretend that I could insult him as he walked
I
away.
was going to be so sad that you were not here for it. And as I was speaking to Jason Statham, I was like, do I have the lady balls to give this insult? So you sold it. That was incredible.
I was down making the tour of the carpet. I heard you talking with Jason, and I was like, I've got to make my way down the carpet. I got up my courage as I made my way down. I was like, Dwayne told me to do it. I can do it. If Hobbs tells me to do it, I'm going to do it.
Please, please, if you love that as much as I do, tweet, Instagram, all of it at Tiffany's Tweets. Yep. And let her know how awesome that was. I mean, I could see you in the next Fast and Furious movie. I feel like you could be the Mrs. Hobbs. We've never met her. We've never met her. We've never met her.
It's true.
So how was your experience at the end of the carpet?
This carpet is so much fun, you guys. The fans all the way down are cheering the entire time. We were kind of following Dwayne making his way down the carpet, doing some interviews, taking some photos, and then, of course, always stopping with the fans. But right now, we are being joined by one of the amazing cast members, Michelle Rodriguez. You guys know her as Laddie.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I like your shirt.
You just made it tonight.
So I got to start this interview talking girl to girl.
What's up?
The trailer comes out, and we've got Dom making out with somebody else.
Of course,
you
that's
guys,
all you're gonna pay attention
no,
to.
because I was like, you guys just got back together. What is up with that? What was your reaction when they were like, that's where we're going with the trailer?
You know the difference between an insecure bitch and Letty?
She doesn't care. She knows who her man is.
Yeah, he can kiss whoever he wants.
You're like, you know that he's still always coming home to family. Now, one of the coolest things about this movie is that it's the first feature film to shoot in Cuba, and you actually got to shoot like an incredible chase sequence in Havana. What was that experience like for you?
Oh my God, I loved Havana. There's something so special about that place. I mean, you remove cell phones from people, and like all of a sudden they look you in the eye when they talk. It's like the spirit of the people there is so great. It's like they celebrate life every day, you know? Like no matter how tough everything is, because it is tough out there for a lot of them, seeing what it's like around the world, you know, getting those movies that they like pirate all the time, and seeing what's going on in this, you know, world, they want to be a part of it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't stop them from enjoying life and from celebrating it. And I just find that culture to be so beautiful.
And even talking about that a little bit, just saying that, you know, these are movies that people across the world fall in love with. I can't wipe the smile off my face when I'm watching them, and I know a lot of other people feel that way too. What is it about the Fast fans that are so different?
we gave the 99% a ticket to the side door into Hollywood. No other studios spending $250 million on the rest of the world, and how multicultural that rest of the world is. Universal's the only one doing it in the action realm. I mean, outside of sci-fi, you don't really get that kind of respect for other cultures. So. Yeah, I'm really grateful.
And I love, too, that, these movies go to different places every single time this season.
It's like the Hollywood Olympics.
You're like, I'll keep going to Iceland and Cuba and New York City, which is where we are right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if countries start bribing. They start putting it in bids. Hey, why don't you come here next? You remember like Utah did?
I love it. Well, and even talking about all the places that you guys have filmed and just what people love about it so much, what I really enjoy is that there are a lot of badass women in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting is it for you to be a part of a franchise that really does that, where it's you and
I'm
Charlize
really
and
psyched
Nathalie?
about it, but girl, we could use a couple more girls, man. I mean, it gets a little heavy with all the protein shakes and the crowded rooms. It's like 2 girls and like 20 dudes. I mean, the smells are different. I don't know. Could use a little bit more feminine energy. Just saying.
Well, I have this dream where, we've seen many villains become heroes. I would love to see one day, far down the road, Charlize join Dom's crew.
I wish, but when you see this movie, what she does is unforgivable.
All right. Well, that's a perfect
Dun, dun,
tease.
dun.
She put the B in bad. Yeah, seriously.
Well,
I love
that's
it.
an amazing way to kick it off. Michelle, thank you so much for stopping by. Such a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your night. I know the fans are excited to see you make your way down the carpet. You guys, like I said, there are so many amazing women in this movie.
Oh,
and
my
right
goodness,
now,
here.
I think we are about to be joined by the lady that Michelle was just talking about. We've got Charlize Theron. How are you doing?
Now, Michelle Rodriguez just described Cypher as putting the B in bad in this movie. Do you think that's an accurate representation?
I'll take it. And I've got to ask, the Fast and Furious franchise is one of those films where the fans are just so rabid for it. They love everyone who is a part of these movies. You made your way up here and everyone starts screaming. What is it like for you to now be a part of this franchise?
I think the fan base is so incredibly loyal and supportive of these films. I think that's a rare thing, and it's something to be celebrated. And of course, I'm very grateful to be a part of that in a very small way.
Now, I love that between Fate of the Furious and Atomic Blonde, obviously Mad Max Fury Road 2, you play the most badass characters. What is it about these roles that you're like, yes, give it to me. Give me the action and the stunts and the villainy?
I don't know. I've always been interested in the genre. I've never had that many opportunities to explore it. Those chances that did come my way, I try to utilize to my best abilities. But yeah, I mean, I like storytelling through physical, and I think it's a misconception that women can't do these movies, and so I had fun. I was very lucky to have an opportunity to do a movie like Atomic Blonde.
When you talk about characters coming in, and usually when they are the big bad, they think that they're not bad. They've got their reasons for doing it. But Cypher kind of comes off that she just really does enjoy being bad. What was your motivation with her?
Well, she's a psychopath. I kind of like set the tone. Yeah, I mean, she's a real psychopath, a narcissistic psychopath, and she doesn't think anything that she's doing is wrong at all. And some of the stuff that she does in the movie is, it's brutal. That's all I'll say.
She is like legitimately terrifying in some of these sequences. And also, interestingly, she's the first female villain the Fast franchise has ever had.
Yeah.
What was really fun for you about getting to play that element
Well,
of it?
that's an honor. I mean, when somebody says that, you kind of feel like, oh, you're part of something that's special. And don't mess up. That's what I was thinking.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Well, and because the fan base is so huge, and obviously family is such a big part of these movies, did you really take it upon yourself to say, if I'm going to do this, and if I'm going to wreck Dom's crew, I've got to really bring my A game?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do something that was deserving. This is a franchise that's worked for the last 16 years in a way that's incredible, and I think a lot of it has to do with the villains, because that's a great cause of tension, and so the story kind of has places to go, and it makes the ride a lot of fun. So I knew I had to come and deliver something that was deserving of this team and this franchise.
Well, welcome to the Fast family,
Yeah.
we should say.
I absolutely cannot wait for the fans to meet Cypher, and I know they want to say hello to you down the carpet.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. Now, up next,
So in real life, guys, she's not as scary as Cypher is.
but also someone we can't wait to meet, Mr. Kurt Russell.
Hello, how are you
Welcome.
doing?
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So excited to have you up here. This film, like we keep talking about it, the fan base is so crazy for all of you guys. They want to see you. They want to talk to you. How does it feel to get to be a part of this Fast franchise?
You know, over a long career, you have the opportunity to do a lot of different things, and to have the opportunity to do this, to play this particular character, I thought was a great challenge. It was, you know, can you join this thing that's a juggernaut, and can you help it? Can you propel it forward? What can you do to create a character that fits, that's the right thing for all of these characters? And on 7, I had that opportunity, and now I'm having the opportunity to do it again on 8, which is it's been great.
Mr. Nobody, first of all, what a name, right? What a name for a character. Always seems to be
Thank
this.
you. I created it.
Did you really?
Yeah, no, I didn't. His name was Lieutenant Perry or something. I don't know. It was like, that guy's kind of relatively uninteresting, I think, but someone who nobody knows about. I thought, nobody. He's literally doesn't have a name. And I thought, that's a guy that is going to be mysterious, and Vin's character was going to have to, in a way, take a leap of faith. Because I don't think anybody else trusts him at all.
Well, we sort of trust him. He always seems to be the smartest guy in the room, you know? He's always one step ahead. He's always arriving when he needs to arrive.
Well, he's been around. I mean, you can only imagine what and where he's been and what he's done. And I love the way he just shows up.
So,
and they do. It's like, who is this guy? Where did he, you know?
That's what I was going to say about him. It's that he feels like the guy who knows exactly how everything's going to play out. He puts the pieces in place and then kind of backs away.
And then it either does or doesn't work out. So then you take a different route. You got to have plan A, B, C, D, and E. Right?
this is now the second time he'll be coming to Dom's crew. Why is Dominic Toretto and gang the right group of essentially superheroes or super spies to come to?
Well, it's interesting to watch where this franchise is, where it started and where it's gone. I think what works is that it's always, the characters are always relatable. And they matter, and therefore all the things that happen with the cars you care about. It's fun to watch action, but if you can't connect the dots, if you can't make it connect to somebody that you care about, then it doesn't have very much value. And I think they've done a great job throughout the years of doing that, and I think that what's fun about where they might be going in the future, it gives you the opportunity to go left or go right. You can go back to a simpler thing, or you can go forward to a more James Bond world. It has a lot of opportunity, and I think Mr. Nobody is now a part of that, and part of where that's possibly going.
Now, big question before we let you go.
I gotta say, because we were like, I don't know. Now that you are a part of the family, you do work with Dom's crew a lot. Do you think that Mr. Nobody would ever become a Corona guy because he's working with Dom so long?
No, he's a Belgian guy. I mean, they share alike for a drink, but not the same drink. But it was really fun having the opportunity to spend a lot of time working with Vin on 7. On this one, we worked less together, and I had more of an opportunity to work with Dwayne, which was also really fun. And I've had a great time with Michelle and Chris and Tyrese and Nathalie. But I thought Gary Gray did a great job keeping all of it together, keeping it all head down the same track. And I've seen it, and it's pretty spectacular.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Kurt, for stopping by. Such a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank
Enjoy
you so
the rest
much.
of the night. Ain't no family like the Fast family,
Seriously.
right?
And I love that bit of knowledge that he actually was the one who changed his name to Mr.
I had
Nobody.
no idea. That's like the best bit of trivia. I'm glad we didn't ask him who Mr. Nobody's name was.
Literally, this carpet just never stops because right now we are being joined by another member of this film.
Mr. Kristofer
How are
Hivju,
you?
thank you so much. Hello. Nice to meet you. And our camera
Nice
is
to
right
meet you.
here.
Hello.
We are
Nice to meet you.
We are live.
We'll have you slide back a little bit.
Oh,
Come back towards me.
This way.
Come next to us.
Come
This
closer
side,
to
this
us.
side, this
all right.
side.
And we're all going to be facing this.
This is live, guys. This is what happens. Swing out a little bit because they're just getting you that way.
I know.
We want to make sure all the fans get to see your beautiful faces, you guys.
Because they need to know the newest bad guy in town, Rhodes.
Yes.
Real trouble. What's it like playing that villain in this story?
Well, when you have protagonists like that, you need to step up the game to give them some resistance. But we have done our best. Cypher and me has tried to make their lives as horrible as possible, and we hope we have done our job.
You hope you've succeeded in that.
What was it like seeing him be a total badass and a villain within this franchise that everyone loves so much?
You know, we haven't seen it yet.
Ooh, your first time tonight at the premiere.
Not me either.
So we're very excited.
Well, we look forward to hearing what you do have to think. But obviously, I mean, the Fast and Furious franchise and the fans just make this what it is. But you're no stranger to a property with a huge fandom. Do you think being on Game of Thrones and being involved in that prepared you at all from joining this family?
Well, you know, my part in Game of Thrones is pretty different from here. But
just the fandom element, like how excited fans are.
It's even since Nathalie is with us as well, we're seeing that this is a Game of Thrones takeover. We're slowly taking over this franchise.
Oh, I love it. I love it. We were talking about maybe some dragons one day down the road.
How Dom's crew would react to dragons, I don't know. Maybe that's in Fast and Furious 10. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, the dragons will come along. Dragons with wheels.
With wheels. Okay, I cannot wait to see that. Thank you both so much for stopping
you guys
by.
so much.
Such a pleasure. Oh, you as
Enjoy
well.
watching with the
Enjoy
fans
movie.
tonight.
We're gonna have you guys. I think. Oh no.
All right,
over
you
the
guys.
place. We're bopping
There's
all
so
over.
much stuff going on the carpet right now. You never know who is going to show up. We just got to chat with so many people. What's going on?
And this is someone who we do know is going to show up, Mr. Scott Eastwood,
What?
who I happen to spot at the top of the carpet. That's honestly how long it takes for some of these talents to make their way down all the way to where we are. And it's not that far. It's only halfway.
Yeah. It's so much fun because, like we said, we were just talking to Kurt Russell about his character and how he named him. Now, in this film, he's got a partner in it. And he's going to make his way up here in just a minute. But what I love about these movies so much is that every new character brings a new flavor.
We're
right
doing
now,
it. You made it.
We
gave you a tease earlier.
How are you doing?
Oh my God, I just smacked it right in the mouth.
It's okay. I insulted Dwayne Johnson and Statham earlier, so
really?
they told me to, so I deserve the microphone.
It was incredible.
Snap.
Incredible stuff. Now, you're sort of the...
It is.
Don't
We
let
want
him.
to make sure everybody hears
He's going to take it off if you let him. He's going to take off
I
the
did.
mic flag. You did. So you're the new blood to
am.
this franchise.
I am.
And every character brings a little bit new flavor to the
Sure.
Fast franchise. What do you think? Your character's name, who I don't think we ever found out. I think he's
Little Nobody?
Mr. Nobody or something. Little Nobody?
Little Nobody.
What does Little Nobody bring to bring to Fast and the Furious?
I bring the rules. I'm bringing the rules back, okay? They've been breaking the rules for too long. I'm bringing the rules back.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like you are way more direct on this stage right now than you are in the movie with the crew. So what was that like, really building?
I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? Cool. So where do you want me?
You kind of talk about that where it's like coming into this family. They've all been doing it for a while. And you kind of do have to be the guy who's like, no, you can't do that. No, you're not supposed to do that.
Wait a second. That's illegal. You can't do that.
Did you feel like the odd man out, or was it really playful with everyone?
No, everybody was great. Everybody was, the best part about this is they really accepted me into the family out the gate, and that made the whole process really enjoyable.
Now, you get a lot of screen time with Kurt Russell, which is amazing, but you also have an amazing chemistry with Tyrese, which is hilarious. And I'm wondering, was that like organic?
Oh, no, that's real. Like, we'll be arguing in like 5 minutes when he gets it.
So is that written into the script, or did people see that you guys bantered and were like, let's make that part of the movie?
I mean, it was a little written in the script, but then we tried to ham it up. Yeah.
I love it. So this franchise has such an awesome fan base. I'm assuming you were a fan of the franchise before. What was it like for you when you got the call to say you're going to be a part of the Fast and Furious franchise?
Look, I was just honored to be part of it, and I can't thank Vin enough for letting me in the family, and everybody at Universal, Donna and Ron, and everybody there for taking a gamble on me and saying, hey, let's give this guy a shot. It's just a dream come true.
And you guys shot all over the world for this movie.
Yeah.
They shot in Cuba. It was the first feature film to shoot there. Also, incredible chase sequence in New York City. What was that experience like? Did you get to take any part of that? I heard there were like huge crowds of fans cheering everyone on.
Kind of like tonight here to see all of you guys on the carpet.
Tonight.
Sure.
Or Iceland as well, you guys shot there.
What people don't realize, these films are so big and they have such a massive fan following that everywhere you go, people are just so excited to have you in the city and be a part of the filming in any aspect. So it's really cool to see.
And I'm curious, you guys obviously are going up against Cypher, Charlize Theron's character.
Ooh,
what makes her unlike a villain that we've ever seen in these movies before?
She's a badass. She does it really well. She does it really well. I don't want to give away too much, but she does some cool shit in this one. Yeah.
And that's coming from the guy that's supposed to be trying to stop her in the movie.
She's a badass.
I gotta ask too, because for me, as I've watched the movies, every time I watch them, I leave the theater and I'm like, I can drive my car like that. I'm part of this crew. Did you feel like leaving set every day that you were like, I'm a badass?
Yeah.
I can probably get out of a speeding ticket if I just say I'm in the movie.
Yeah, I still think when I'm driving, I'm in it. I'm like, whoa, 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 where did that come from? What am I even doing? I'm in the slow lane. I'm in the slow lane on the freeway.
Los
Stay in your lane.
Angeles traffic, stop and go, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready.
And that's when a fast fan is next to you and they're like, hey, you're driving pretty slow. Can I go around you?
Well, my buddies joke all the time that I drive like a grandma. So
this is maybe like a good thing for you to be part of the Fast and Furious.
Entry into maybe a few.
I mean, obviously, like a lot of this cast are like big car aficionados. Does any of like the, I don't know, crazy car experiences translate from the screen to when you guys are hanging out and palling around?
Yeah, I mean, what's great about the cast is they all have their own input on their characters because they've been living in them for so long, so they know, hey, I want to drive that car, or I would do this, or my character would do this, so it's fun to see them own the character and have their own input.
Well, thank you so much, Scott, for stopping by. This was such a blast.
Thank you for having me.
Your first Fast and Furious premiere carpet, first of many.
Hopefully you'll get some influence on your car in the next one. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We can't wait to do it. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You guys, this carpet is just going and going. It is packed with stars from the film, packed with fans. We have been having so much fun. I think like one of the greatest pieces of info that we've gotten tonight was Kurt Russell when he came up and was saying that he actually came up with the name Mr. Nobody. He had a name and he was like,
Lieutenant something or other.
He was like, I feel like he's a little bit more intimidating than that. He knows more information than that.
And it's really interesting hearing from Scott, too, that the cast does have such an input on their characters because you can see that. Like, I wonder how many other small character details that make these Fast characters who they are came from the actors. I also, I need to go back to the fact that you told off both Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham and are still standing here. I think they love you more now.
Okay, so if you guys are just joining us, you are watching the live stream of the Fate of the Furious premiere here in New York City. We've talked with Dwayne Johnson, and we talked about the fact that we love that he has so many great insults with Jason Statham. So I said I was going to try and come up with one, which I was not
No, you
great
got some
at.
cheers. You were great. You got the ball rolling on it, yeah.
So I told Dwayne Johnson to get his ass off the stage and say hello to some fans. I feel like that wasn't really an insult. It was like a very direct way to say, hey, the fans love you. They want to see you too. Right?
And then he gave you an insult to relay to Jason Statham. Can you give it to me? Because you were like real impressive when you did it then.
So basically, Dwayne told me that I was supposed to tell Jason Statham that when he sees him, he's gonna kick his ass into next week and then meet him there and kick his ass again for leaving in the first place.
And then you delivered it with just impeccably.
I tried.
And Jason gave some sass back as well.
He totally
that was
did.
Such a tongue twister.
You guys, another great thing about these movies is the music in them. And right now,
guys.
we are being joined by Kaylani and Jeezy. How you guys doing?
Welcome.
Incredible, exceptional.
Now, you guys made the theme song, essentially, of Fate of the Furious.
Did we? Did we make the theme song? We haven't seen it yet. This is about to be our first time seeing it, so we're super stoked to see where our song fits in the movies.
Well, I'm curious, what direction do you guys get when you're approached to say, hey, will you make a song for an iconic franchise like Fast and Furious? What's sort of your point of entry into creating that?
I mean, I'd probably have to say, luckily, it's such an amazing and huge and monumental franchise, especially growing up to it. So it wasn't like we had no idea what it was about. It was like, okay, cool. Cars, action.
We have the, we get the vibe. I mean, it was just about making something really big about, celebrating the good life and just family and unity and just friends coming together.
Well, and that's something that I think is so cool. Not only is this movie about the cars and the action and family, but the music is always such a big part of it. And I drive around LA and I listen to the music and I think I can drive even cooler than I can. What is it that makes a really great Fast and Furious song? What's the sound?
Just about being big, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's very human that people relate to.
You can drive a car too. You know? Exactly.
That's true. I've been listening to like the music video and been jamming out a
When
bit.
The Good Life drops, you know, you definitely just want to just vroom.
Nice little head bob, you know.
All right. Now, before we let you go, we did want to. I mean, you're a part of the Fast family now. How does that feel as fans of the franchise?
I remember being 13 years old and going to see the first one in theaters and just falling in love with that movie. You know, so to be here, I mean, that's incredible.
I think for me, it put such a dope spotlight on action and also tomboy. You know, being a tomboy. Michelle Rodriguez for me was like, oh my God, I can be totally hot, but a total like kick-ass person and badass all at the same time. So,
and
great.
Congratulations, we should also plug you just dropped your debut album in January, correct?
Yeah,
Tell the people what they need to know about it.
Go check me out on my socials or at Kehlani Sweet Sexy Savage. The album dropped January, so I hope you enjoy it.
Now, thank you both so much for coming tonight. I see we have another musical inspiration, though,
we
as
do.
an actor, Ludacris is coming down the carpet.
Things like this are so cool.
It's so surreal, and I know that all of the fans are going to be so excited to get to listen to your music, drive in their cars, and relate to Fast and Furious the way that we all have watching them as well. So thank you guys so much, and congratulations.
Thank you. Enjoy the movie tonight.
Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys too.
Either way you go.
Oh, there is so much stuff happening. It's live.
Thanks, guys.
The glamour. Sometimes jewelry falls off. It's okay. You pick it back up and you keep moving.
I liked it. She covered it. We lost Luda a little bit, but I'm really excited to talk to him. I mean, it's interesting. Both he and Tyrese have basically been here since the beginning of this series and have had such an
when
impact.
you think about it, because you go back and you're like, Too Fast, Too Furious. That was the first time that we saw this character of Tej. I'm so excited to have him come up here right now. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm on Facebook Live too. Hold on.
Oh, what? All right.
Are we gonna do?
Are we gonna like
Live,
Inception Facebook Live?
Inception.
This is crazy right now.
It's very crazy that we're both on Facebook Live.
Make sure you guys are following everything because you don't want to miss anything on the carpet.
And be using the
Facebook.
hashtag F8 premiere hashtag.
Yes. Have you guys seen the film yet?
Yes,
we have.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't want to give it away, but I mean, how do you feel? Do you think that April 14th we're gonna make some new records? We're gonna break some records, or what are we gonna do?
I know where I'm going to be April 14th, and it is seeing it again.
The people need to know what would make Dominic Toretto turn against family.
They absolutely need to know, and I'm not giving it away right now. But
It's
I
good
definitely
stuff.
want to tell everybody, thank you for all of the support all of these years. We never in a million years would have thought that myself and Tyrese starting out in Too Fast, Too Furious, that we would be here right now at 8. So, I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and I just love it. And I just want to let everybody know I just released a single. Vitamin D is out right now. Make sure you go listen to it. Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify. Vitamin D, Ludacris, new music.
I love it. So you talked about obviously being a part of Too Fast, Too Furious and being with the franchise for so long. What has changed along the way, or what do you feel most proud of looking back at all of the films?
Looking back at all the films, honestly, I feel most proud that we continue to do better each and every time. Because everybody, you know, there was a time when people would come out with sequels and everybody would always say there's nothing that's better than the first one. And not to say that the ones we've done are better, it's just that they continue to ascend, they continue to develop. I mean, it's just out of this world how we continue to grow. And I just love that about this franchise.
Well, it's interesting, too. I heard you say at one point that this is almost like a new beginning for the Fast franchise. In what way? In a non-spoilery way, how do you think that is?
It's a new beginning only because when you introduce certain characters like Charlize Theron and Helen Mirren, and it's like you have Jason Statham and, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and everybody is intertwining in these stories in different ways. You have the possibility of having numerous stories going on at the same time. And so there's no limitation to the possible things that can happen moving forward, and that's what I'm most excited about.
So I love your character so much because you say all of this technical jargon, and I'm not going to lie, it sounds like the most convincing stuff I've ever heard.
Well, thank you, because it's very difficult to spit all of that stuff out when you're reading a script and then you get on camera one day and you're trying to say all of those words, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that you love it because that's why I do it.
Well, and I was going to ask, have you picked up stuff along the way in the tech jargon, or are you like, it's gibberish, but it looks awesome on screen?
I've picked up a little bit of it, but for the most part, when I'm done working, I'm like, the hell with all that. I'm going home to chill out. I don't want to know about it.
No, I mean, Tej has evolved into basically like this world-class hacker, which I love. I've sort of created the backstory in my head. I'm like, well, you know, he probably was like switching around cars and like working on the computer systems. But in addition to that, he's also one of the most important racers in the crew. And you guys filmed
100%.
an incredible chase sequence in New York City, where we are right now. I heard there were like massive crowds crowds cheering you guys on, like
Very
right
crazy. And again, like you said, at first I was just a hacker. I was always behind the computer scene, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to get little pieces of the action here and there. So a lot of people didn't even know that I could do those things. So again, that's another reason why I'm so excited, because there are so many tributes that people don't even realize my character has.
Well, and speaking of the franchise just evolving and growing from film to film, when I first started watching, all I wanted to do was be in one of the cars with anyone from the crew.
Right.
Now, I want to be at the family dinners.
Oh, yeah,
so what is that like shooting those scenes?
It's great because, as you realize, the underlying theme that has been coming around with all of them is family. You know, we don't have friends, we have family. And family, you know, it's like blood is thicker than water, obviously, and I think that what you mean by that is you feel the love and you feel the energy every time we shoot a scene like that, and really that's what it's all about. We want the world to be a better place, and we're just trying to show that through our art.
Well, I love it so much, and I'm feeling the love. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Facebook, I love you guys. Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Make sure you guys are following his Facebook Live. Make sure you guys check out the new music and see the movie on April 14th.
And we also should remember to plug, we have a bunch of fun cast check-ins on Instagram and Snapchat, The Fate of the Furious.
Yeah.
And also we're Twitter, we're 360 Twitter. This is amazing. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to meet you. Hi,
Good to see
Neal.
you.
You
Tiffany,
are
nice to
the
meet you.
man with the plan behind the scenes, producer extraordinaire on Fast and the Furious franchise.
Well, somebody just asked me, is there a Fast and Furious 9? And I said to them, you tell me. I mean, hopefully the audience
Wait,
is
so
more.
if we say yes or no right now, is that the definitive answer?
Well, what I meant is, come opening weekend, if the fans tell us they want more, of course we'd love to make more.
Well, that's actually something I was curious about. You know, how much planning, especially at the point that you're 8 movies in, how far ahead are you looking to sort of the story and the plan of this series going forward?
I mean, I say to everybody is like, let's make one great movie at a time, and then the next one
Maybe
will
going
follow.
a quarter mile at a time, quarter movie at a time?
But, you know, we're definitely thinking about long-term plans and where it can go, but I really have just been concentrating on 8 to make it the best movie we possibly can.
Do you feel like just adding even new characters and new blood is something that really keeps the films fresh and exciting as you keep growing?
Yeah, and what's amazing is we used to have to really go try and get people to come in the Fast and Furious movies, and now it's like, you know, we get a lot of calls from people who are interested in doing it, or we're just in general meetings with people who say they love Fast and Furious and want to be a part of it. It's really nice that the tables have turned, and now we're the kind of movie where people really want to be a part of.
And you have Charlize Theron in this movie,
She's
Kurt
amazing.
Russell, Helen Mirren.
She's amazing.
Incredible, incredible. I mean,
The audience goes nuts when we reveal Helen, and there's a couple other surprises in the movie, and you know, we try and bring people in and out, and always have a little surprise for people going forward.
This is a franchise that's so driven by fans. I mean, you see how many people are here right now. How important is you, as you make these later movies in the franchise, to keep having callbacks to earlier ones and really reward the people who've been here from the beginning?
I think it's really popular and something that not only interests the fans, but interests ourselves. And what we've learned through making these movies is that really we want to make movies that the fans love. And we know how much these movies now mean to them. A lot of people have grown up with the series and grown up with these characters, and it's just feels so good when the fans come up to us and say, that was awesome, we love what you did, thank you for making that. And you know what, my wife keeps calling me.
Should we tell her?
She's watching you.
She's live.
I'm on live TV. What's up?
This is live, guys.
This
His
is
wife
how real it
calling.
is.
She's
We wouldn't-
very
we
proud of
wouldn't
him to be
pre-plan
here at
this.
this premiere. This is so, you're like, it's about family. Yeah, my life is about family too.
My wife and kids are here. Actually, I didn't have kids when I started the series, and I wasn't married when I started the series, so it's nice to
Your
kind of
family,
have
too.
all these life experiences with my family through the 8 movies. It's been unbelievable.
Well, thank you so much for sharing so much with all of the Fast fans. I know that we're all excited for more and hoping, fingers crossed, everyone goes to see it April 14th so we can get to 9.
We'll say right now, we definitely want Fast 9. We definitely want Fast 9.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your night. You guys, what I love, it's not just the actors in the movie that are family, the producers, the writers, the musicians who are involved. Everybody has become a family, and you hear the excitement from all of them as they're working on this, as they make their way onto the carpet to chat with us.
Hi,
right
Nathalie.
now, we are being joined by Nathalie. Woo, we're getting some cheers for you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. This is so exciting.
I know, like you were sort of a new character. Ramsey was a new character in the last movie, but you're fully a part of the family in this movie.
She's in it. She's there. So it's really cool to be a part of it, and I still like pinch myself sometimes, like, oh wow, yeah. This is happening.
Like, I mean, you're also a part of Game of Thrones, one of the other biggest franchises in the world. I'm it's funny to me that you pinch yourself. You're like,
oh
my
I'm
God.
pinching myself about that too. Absolutely, yeah.
It's a good spot to be in, for sure.
So I just, I literally am so grateful every day. So.
Well, and I got to talk to you at Fast 7 on the carpet for the premiere, and you were so excited. What is it like, and how have things changed from then to now? Do you feel even more confident that you're like, yeah, I'm part of this family?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think I've definitely grown in confidence, and just being like at events like this and being here, it's like, you know, it takes some adjustment, and I definitely, with each of these things that I go to, I'm like, okay, I feel a bit more like comfortable. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to be here.
Letty has been our main lady in the Fast franchise for so long.
Yeah.
We got another awesome woman in Ramsey in the last movie, and then this one we have the most terrifying villain Dom has ever faced in terms of Cypher, Charlize Theron. What does it mean to you to be a part of a franchise that celebrates just so many kick-ass women?
It's amazing. I'm always drawn to characters like that. I always want to play characters like that, and it's really cool that we've got such a cool female like collective in these movies. And yeah, there's nothing better than some kick-ass women who, you know, really show what they're made of.
And it's so fun really seeing the evolution of all of these characters in this franchise. We just talked with Ludacris, and he was talking about the fact that his character started as a tech guy and now has progressed to being one of the best racers in the crew. Generally, we see you doing tech or sitting in the passenger seat. Would you want to see your character kind of grow to drive her own car? Or are you like, no, I'm good in the passenger seat?
I think there's two sides of it for me. I think I would. I think it would be really cool if we just suddenly learned that she was an amazing driver and everyone was like, whoa, where did that come from? That would be fun, but I also quite like the fact that she's not a car girl. Like, she's, in a way, she like represents, you know, the everyday person who isn't used to like driving like that and dodging bullets and driving past explosions. You know, she's sort of, in a way, you get to see what a normal person's reaction to those situations would be. And I love that she's so, you know, detached from that world, and her thing is technology and hacking. So
I know, you're like, she's a normal person,
That's
but she's
exactly
a
what I was gonna
world-class
say.
hacker, like created God's Eye, one of the most important pieces of technology.
Yeah.
But you also were like a part of a lot of these awesome chase sequences, especially one that was shot in New York City.
Right.
What was that like? I heard that there were massive crowds cheering you guys on as you were, and it was crazy that you guys were shutting down all these streets.
Well, I actually shot most of my content of that in Atlanta, so I
interesting.
didn't actually get to shoot in New York, which is a shame.
What's that like, though, shooting, you know, on sort of a remote location?
Yeah.
I guarantee there were still fans in Atlanta finding you guys for those races.
Of course. I mean, we just get to show nothing but love by fans. I mean, it's so exciting. If you're in a city and you hear that Fast and Furious is filming there, of course you're going to go and have a look and see what's happening if you can. So, yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all to hear that was happening here.
And we gotta ask, the films keep continuing to grow and change and bigger and faster and more furious. How do you think Dom and the team would react if they had, you know, like a dragon on wheels showing up?
I mean, I'm sure they would make very good use of it, and I'd be worried for anyone that crossed their path, to be honest.
It's funny, there was sort of like a story going around where fans for years have been like, what about Fast and Furious in space? And so we pitched with Kristofer, your Game of Thrones co-star, who's also in this movie. He was like, what about like a Game of Thrones crossover where we all the cast ends up joining, and then they fight a dragon on wheels? And we're like, yeah, you know, we'd watch it. We'd watch it. We'd be here for it.
I'd totally watch it too. It'd be funny if suddenly like all the Fast and Furious cast were suddenly wearing like medieval gear and like chainmail and swords. Everyone would be like, what? What's happening? So.
Fast and Furious time travel. You never know.
I know, I love it.
No.
This is when we get to Fast 20.
Nothing is off the table, in my opinion.
I love it. I love it. And I know that's what the fans love about it as well. And I know they are clamoring for all of you guys to make your way down the carpet. Yeah. So we want you to say hello to some of them. So thank you so much. And I know where I'm going to be April 14th, seeing this movie. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, this just keeps getting better and better. I love it. I love that as we're interviewing everyone too, we kind of keep adding in more and more things that we want to see in the next film.
Yeah, I mean, I love, oh my God, look who's here. Dominic Toretto himself, Mr. Vin Diesel has arrived.
Oh.
Did everyone hear that? Vin Diesel has arrived on this red carpet.
He's on the carpet.
Yeah.
He's on the carpet.
Yeah.
Everyone is so excited. Every single person who comes here, you guys, it's so great because every person in the film gets the same reaction from fans. They are all so excited. it's not about one character, it's about the entire family. And it's really fun kind of seeing the characters grow along with the films as well. Even having Nathalie come up here, talking with her on the last film on Fast 7, and seeing where she's at now and talking about Fast 8 with her is just so incredible.
And this is a perfect time because I would say that the cast has been coming fast and furiously down this live stream. To remind everyone to keep up with all of our social media coverage. We are, in addition to being live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, we also are having the cast post fun social content on Instagram, on Snapchat. There's so much I'm like tripping over my words.
And make sure you guys are using the hashtag F8Premiere so you don't miss anything. And so everybody can see all the great stuff you're saying about the carpet, the films, the characters, what you love.
And we did give everyone a bit earlier in this live stream a tour of what the carpet experience is like. It's crazy. These are so long and there's so many stops along the way. But there also is a really cool Twitter experience on the Fast and Furious Twitter page that gives you a 360 look at what the carpet's like. So you definitely want to check that out.
And it's so great because all of the actors in these movies as well are super active on social media.
Yes.
So you get to see photos from when they're shooting. You get to see all the things that are happening. Photos of them coming to New York City, preparing for the premiere. And Ludacris was just up here, and he obviously has got his Facebook Live going on. So they are all so plugged into their fans, not only just here at the premiere, but in all ways as well.
And it's really interesting too to see like just how the Fast franchise has grown over the years. I mean, 7 movies are coming out, the 8th next week. It's made $3.9 billion at the global box office, which is insane. And you have to think a big part of that is thanks to just how engaged these actors are with their fans. I mean, you see people like Vin and Tyrese and Michelle and Ludacris. Like it's ludicrous, I would say. That's my pun. That's my pun of the stream.
Nice, I like it.
Just how big their followings are, and that's, I think, translated to the franchise.
Yeah, and you guys, if you're just joining us, we have been talking to the stars of The Fate of the Furious. We talked with Dwayne Johnson. We talked to the director, F. Gary Gray. We've talked with Jason Statham. We had Nathalie up here talking about Ramsey. And right now, I think we are about to be joined by Mr. Tyrese. How are you doing, sir?
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Roman in the house.
It's so much fun having you guys make your way down the carpet because you can just hear the fans as you're coming down.
Just looked up and seen how much longer we gotta go.
All of the fans are here for you guys.
This is so real. What's up, y'all? We Facebook Live right now?
We're Facebook Live. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter. We're all over the place. This is technology nowadays. But you're talking about how surreal it is. I mean, you joined Too Fast, Too Furious. It's been almost 2 decades. How do you see that the franchise has evolved over the years? What do you think are some of the most exciting ways it's grown and changed?
Well, first of all, I just want everybody that's looking at this to know that we never have and never will take your love and support for this franchise for granted. There's not enough that we could ever say during any of our interviews to show enough appreciation for all of you that's watching right now around the world. We feel your love. We received all of your prayers. The family received your prayers when we lost our brother. For some reason today, I've been very nervous about being here. And it's not because of the size of this premiere, it's just, I don't know what it is. It feels different today. And we just want y'all to know that we are under more pressure than most could ever imagine because we work really hard to make y'all proud. Who wants to show up and see a horrible movie? We are the first non-comic book, non-TV show to turn into a movie to ever reach to this level. And the pressure is on to like up the ante and keep this franchise interesting. And we're just grateful, and we're very grateful.
Well, I think it was really cool because F. Gary Gray was here and talking about really growing with the movie and taking it to the next level and doing more things in this one where it is all about family at its core, and that's how you can add all of the action sequences because all of the fans connect with all of you guys.
Yeah, you know, it's F. Gary Gray is what I call a humble genius because if you see him walking in a room, he just looks like a regular guy, and then he gets behind the camera and on a movie set, and he just becomes somebody else. He had a bit of a cheat sheet because he had worked with a lot of us before he came in to take on the reins of the director of Fast. But I had never worked with him, but we were close friends for over 8 years. So people are going to be very surprised at the performances that he pulled out of all of us. I mean, having Charlize to be the most beautiful Black Widow you've ever seen, she is going to scare the hell out of a lot of people. And a lot of people are not going to like her, which means she did her job and did it too well. So, you know, I just hope that we make the fans proud. I do want to put out there, and I want y'all to write it on the timeline, that 2 Jeeps that were custom built and designed were featured in the Fast and the Furious. And I want y'all to check out all of these Jeeps on VoltronMotors.com. That's VoltronMotors.com. Now write that in the comments so that I can know that y'all got it. But go to the site, wherever you are in the world, take some screenshots of your favorite Jeeps and your designs and tell me why, and tag me in it.
At Tyrese, right?
That's
at
right.
Tyrese.
And I love so much because every single one of these movies, not only do you guys just grow the actors in the family, but you grow with the cars, you grow with the music.
Oh, yeah.
How much fun is it for you guys to welcome new people into the Fast family?
Well, this is what I could say. Fast and the Furious proudly, we speak a lot of universal languages. Diversity, cars, adrenaline, customization of cars, handsome, sexy. This is a winning formula. Everybody deserves to go to the theater and see somebody in the movie that looks like them, that they can relate to, that's from where they're from. And we're almost a cross between the UN and the National Geographic Channel at this point, because we're traveling around the world. First Hollywood movie to ever shoot in Cuba since the embargo was lifted. Iceland, so many places, New York, because it all started in New York with a Vibe magazine article. A lot of people don't know that. So just so proud, and I got to go in because I got to get on stage. I got to somehow make it through the rest of this carpet. But I love y'all. Again, VoltronMotors.com. Make sure y'all log on and check it out. Tag me in the photos.
At Tyrese.
And I love y'all and appreciate y'all. And we worked our asses off to make this one the best one yet.
Awesome.
Well, I
Thank
know
you
the
so
love
much.
comes right back at you guys from the fans, so thank you so much. Enjoy your night.
Enjoy. Don't be nervous. This movie is freaking awesome.
So true. You guys, this is such a great night. Tyrese was just up here just talking about being with the franchise for so
Really
long.
beautiful sentiments
Absolutely.
too. Yeah.
That's the thing that I think stands out so much, and I mentioned it that F. Gary Gray said this, that, you know, it's the fans connect with the actors, the fans connect with their stories, the emotion that's there. And I think that really comes across with what Tyrese was saying.
And it's interesting because we're at the point that the carpet, it's getting really quiet over here. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's a lot quieter than it used to be, and it's because there's one left. Mr. Vin Diesel, he's on his way. He's, you know, a little bit...
Mr. Dominic Toretto.
Mr. Dominic Toretto. He's a little ways down the carpet, but it's really interesting how much this does all come back to Dom. This movie, the big draw is seeing... They're so excited about Tyrese right now, and how couldn't they be?
It just keeps happening. Like I said earlier, it's for every single one of these actors. They make their way a little bit down, the fans start yelling. A little bit further, they start yelling. And I think right now, we are being joined by Mr. Dominic Toretto. Vin Diesel is making his way up here.
Here he is.
I'm
Here
so
he is, the
excited
man
to
of the
see this
hour.
man.
Hi. How are you doing? Congratulations, you're here.
Oh my gosh. This is incredible.
We are in New York City. It's been a dream forever. We're in New York City, and we have brought Fast 8, The Fate of the Furious, back to my hometown. I can't tell you what a cool feeling that is. I can't tell you what a cool feeling that is.
I love it so much because obviously this is the 8th film in the franchise. Every single time I've been at one of these premieres, the fan base grows even more, even more. They're more excited to see all of you guys than the last one. How does that feel for you, that the fans just keep growing and continue to grow even more?
We make these movies for the fans. Obviously, when you get to Fast 8, there's no other reason to continue. If it wasn't something that you felt that the fans appreciated and expected. I was doing press in Paris, and an interviewer said, it doesn't feel like a saga anymore, it feels like tradition. And I was like, oh my God, what does that imply? Is there gonna be a holiday?
Yes, on April 14th to go and see this movie. It's a holiday.
I would say that's a holiday.
Oh my God, so blessed. Again, for me, to be here in New York with the fate of the Furious is surreal. The place that so many of the themes that exist in the movie come from my upbringing in this city. The themes of loyalty, the themes of family, the themes of multiculturalism that have been, the cornerstones of this film, of this saga, come from my upbringing here, from being raised here. So to be able to bring it back is incredible.
And I love that, family is, I think, the big theme of this franchise. And you're talking about giving fans what they want. I don't think any fan wanted to see Dom turn his back on family.
No fan wanted to see Dom turn their back.
So what makes that so interesting to be sort of the central premise of this movie for you?
Because when you come out of Furious 7, you know if you're going to dare to continue. Of course, the fans want you to continue, but if you're really going to dare to continue, you have to have something groundbreaking. Nothing was more groundbreaking than the thought of Dom Toretto going rogue, Dom Toretto turning his back on his family. For 7 films, Dom Toretto's been talking about family, he's been talking the talk, and now we needed to see him walk the walk. The great thing about the movie is it challenges not only the faith of the family on screen, but the faith of the audience off screen.
That's a great tease.
I love it.
I do want to ask, though, I mean, we talked to Chris Bridges a little bit earlier, and he sort of described this as being a new beginning for Fast and the Furious. I'm curious, spoiler-free, obviously, how do you think that plays into it? What does it mean to say Fate of the Furious is a new beginning for Fast and the Furious? You're live. You're live, everyone.
Am I live? Am I live?
You are live. You are live.
Is this live?
Yes, it is. You're like,
okay,
can I
what
hear
does this
you?
mean? Now that we're live, I guess I better put my live answers up on deck. One of the things that the studios encouraged me to do is to always design these films with a trilogy in mind. And that's one of the things that makes this saga so compelling. They're not thought of as one-offs. They are always thought of as trilogies. So to go into 8, before we started 8, we had to think about what 8, 9, and 10 would be. And that's just good storytelling. That's good episodic storytelling. And I'm just grateful that I have partners at Universal that are willing to work that hard to protect the integrity of the saga.
And like you said, that you guys are trusting of the fans to go along with you. For your character in particular in this one, I feel like we get to see some sides of Dom that we've never seen before. Was that really fun for you to develop that and play different sides of him?
That's not fun.
And what a good tease.
Gratifying. It's gratifying, but how could it be fun to play pain? If you're really playing pain in a movie and you're really committing to that character, it's not fun to go and rip your heart apart every day on set, but it's what you do because you do what you love. You're creating art. You're an artist. You're going to move a world. You're going to move the world. You're going to move the audience. And the audience deserves that kind of commitment. The audience deserves that kind of integrity. So you go into it real. And that sometimes you have to go to work and put your heart on a platter to be ripped up to shreds, because that's what the art entails. And the victory in the end is sweeter.
Now, I don't know. I mean, that got me excited to see this movie. I can't wait for you to see this movie tonight at the premiere. Everyone else is going to get to see it next Friday, April 14th. Vin, you're our grand finale of this live stream. Can you give one big final thank you and send-off as we wrap this thing to a close?
I can give you one giant send-off, and I'm gonna put a little Easter egg out there for you guys.
Woo! Yes! Now he knows we're live.
No, watch this. This is an Easter egg, a real Easter egg. And Steve Aoki will tell you. I dare you to try. I dare you to feel. I dare you to love when nobody else will.
Boom, mic drop.
There you go.
Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
You guys, Facebook Live. Guys, I love you guys!
Thanks, everyone.
This is so awesome. I love it so much.
Look at these guys I love. Look at these guys I love.
And that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Thank you so much.
This is so much fun. Vin is making his way down the carpet. It has been a huge premiere here in New York City. I feel like we just got welcomed into the Fast family with that hug.
I mean, after earlier, I think we did. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's a wrap for us. We appreciate you all watching, and we'll see you at Fast 9.
Thank you guys so much. Make sure you go see it on April 14th in theaters, The Fate of the Furious.